It's happened to the cave where the echoes bounce, in the depths where the whispers of knowledge count. A place not just of dark, but of light where ideas clash and take flight. K4 on the beat, in the labyrinth deep, navigating mysteries that the cave keeps. Every step a new discovery, every turn a story untold inside the cave where the shadows unfold. Inside the cave where the shadows unfold. Finding secrets that the universe keeps, from the echoes of the past to the whispers of the new.
And we are live. Welcome everybody to the stream. We are back again at Inside the Cave Murder Mysteries. I am your host, Proper. I am joined by none other than our boy, Chef, from the Sunday Night Secret Society podcast. You can catch him right here. I'm going to drop his right there. Instagram, Sunday Night Secret Society podcast. We are also live on his on his page. So if you're tuning in, we are live on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, before we get started, I just wanted to plug in our Patreon. Consider joining our Patreon because it helps us continue to provide content like this for you guys, and you get exclusive member perks, maybe even discounts to our merch, and access to our exclusive Discord. And that's where you can talk to all of us, like Chef, myself, Proper. We have Jorizi, one of our main guys here, and we have like KVW, like the KVW guys. If you want to talk wrestling, the KVW guys are on the Discord. It's a pretty exciting thing that they're doing now. But other than that, yes, please consider joining our Patreon to have exclusive access to our Discord and just hang out with us. It helps us out. So please visit Patreon, and you can find that link at our website, k4v3.com. That's k.com. Now, to get to the show, we are talking about murder mysteries. And, you know, last time we were on the show, it's been quite a minute. We've been trying to make sure that we had something that we really like to talk about. And the last one we talked about was the Zodiac Killer. Had fun with that. And now we are on here with the Cecil Hotel, which, if you're not aware of the Cecil Hotel, there's been a lot of tragic incidents that's occurred here. And a lot of people have theories as to why. Maybe something demonic or supernatural is responsible for all of this. And one, most notably, the most recent one in history to happen at Cecil Hotel, which is, by the way, closed, because I remember they sold it and they were trying to revamp it, like try to make it attractive, but now it's permanently closed. But if anyone's watching, you want to correct me on that, please do so. This is something, you know, Cecil Hotel has so much information that we're still constantly learning as far as Chef and I are on this show. But yeah, so like I said, the most recent thing that happened was the Elisa Lam incident. And for those of you who don't know who Elisa Lam, in short, it looked like she was losing her mind in the hotel in the camera footage that they found of her. And next thing you know, they found her body in a water tank on the roof. But we're going to discuss the details that kind of led up to that and how people have different theories as to why it happened. Some people have many different points of views. It could be something as sinister as like she was possessed, or it could be she went crazy because she was known to be on her medication, but she stopped taking her medication. So she might have experienced psychosis, but who knows? It's just a coincidence that these things kind of happen at this hotel. So Chef, he's got his slideshow for us. So let's go ahead and add that to the screen. We're going to put that up. And here's the mysterious death of Elisa Lam. Kyle, please take it over. This is your presentation. I want you to walk us through this. And welcome
Yes.
with the band, by the way. I know you're in here time, but with the band, thank you for always tuning in, man. Appreciate you.
Yeah. Again, second team. What Proper said there. Yeah, this is a weird one. Again, we have Elisa Lam. I'm just going to kind of go through. We got about 10 slides here, so I'm just going to go through them, and we're going to kind of learn a lot of this stuff together. I've kind of browsed through this, but there's a lot to uncover with the mysterious death of Elisa Lam. So the case of Elisa Lam, she was a Canadian student whose body was found in the hotel water tank in Los Angeles, which was up above the Cecil Hotel. As it has captivated the public's imaginations for quite some time. Again, as Proper said, like there was some really weird behavior. So there is some footage of her inside of the elevator, and it's just really odd, just very odd. If you've ever seen it, you would know that there's something kind of wacky going on there. And due to the eerie circumstances, so let me break down like an eerie circumstance for you. I don't know exactly how much Elisa Lam weighed. I'm sure it's out there. I don't have it for you right now, but she was a small, petite girl. So she was found dead in this big water tank. So the water tank that she was found in was responsible for all of the water. If you're turning on the faucet, if you are taking a shower, or simply flushing the toilet in any of the rooms in the hotel. So she was actually found sucked down to the bottom. Now, one of the weird kind of things about this is that those doors, that the door to open, if you had to open up that tank, weighs a lot. It's fucking heavy. So the fact that they found her dead, stuck to the bottom. Now, this part gets a little gross. I don't know.
Wasn't that the hotel guests? They didn't know until people started taking a shower and saying, "Hey, the water tastes funky." Imagine being in that shower and then finding out, "Holy shit! I was taking a shower and I was using the water that is coming from a dead body."
Yeah, so that's a little weird, little creepy. I would be mortified, me myself, simply for the sole fact of like things that are dead. I don't know why it's just me, but like once it's no longer living, it just creeps me out. Like it just creeps me out. So to know that I'm showering in water that's been around a dead corpse is very disturbing. Mm-hmm. But supposedly, due to the pressure of everyone in the hotel using the water, it actually sucked her down, to the bottom. But it actually, I don't know the correct termination, and it's kind of gross, but it pretty much sucked her insides out of her anus. And you have to imagine
I feel like I know that term, but I'm pretty sure everyone can put it together in their head what that looks like.
Yes, very gruesome, very gruesome. And again, like no one. Well, we'll get.
Jerizi lost his virginity at the Cecil for show, so maybe that's where all this stuff started happening, as he's saying.
Hey, it was just. I know. I asked him about it, and he said it's just in the water. It was just in the water. So little bit.
Follow Jerizi for more wild takes, because he's got a lot of them. And if you don't follow him on Twitter, he's got a lot of wild takes on there. So please give him a follow on Twitter.
On the X, let's go.
X, Twitter, whatever, same shit.
Yeah, dude. I do the same shit,
X
man. It
sounds like a porn site for me. It's like, hey, follow me on X. What the fuck? You post porn videos on there, bro?
It's like, I'm pretty sure we're not. We're not supposed to be going on those websites, right? Like, it's Twitter with the little bird, little tweeter. So a little bit about Elisa Lam, right? So Elisa Lam, she was 21 years old, Canadian student. She was traveling alone in Los Angeles. This is back in 2013. So this is 11 years ago. She's originally from British Columbia. and she was a student at the University of British Columbia and was on a solo trip across the Western United States. Lam was battling depression, supposedly depression, bipolar disorder, and had checked into the notorious Cecil Hotel in downtown LA on January 6th. Her mysterious disappearance was a week later. So that goes back to what Proper was saying, that they didn't know she was missing until guests started complaining of the water. Like, it tasted like shit, smelled like shit, and
rinsing their mouth in that shit.
Yep. And I mean, at that point, I'd rather be using fluoride toothpaste than that, just to be honest. But so right, that's weird, mysterious death. But now we got to look at the hotel itself. And I know after I'm done with this, I believe you also have a couple of interesting other weird, untimely deaths that also occurred at the Cecil Hotel.
I mean, the Cecil Hotel dates back, to the 1930s from what I've researched, and it's just a bunch of eerie things that have happened. And obviously, it also ties back, how people are, in most hotels, they skip floor 13. I don't know if you guys have ever noticed that. If you ever go to a hotel, they skip the 13th floor because everyone's so superstitious. So if you go in a hotel, it's usually skipped. It's like floor 14, but I mean, really, it's floor 13. So we just change the number. All of a sudden, it's different.
Yeah, I wonder if that worked for anybody visiting, any patrons at the Cecil Hotel. So,
yeah.
The Cecil Hotel, again, is located in downtown Los Angeles and has been shrouded in a dark, unsettling past. Opened in 1927, the hotel has seen its fair share of tragedies, suicides, and even infamous serial killers, which has...
Like the Night Stalker, right? Richard Ramirez is one of them.
Yep.
Oh, there it is. Sorry. I'm reading ahead of you.
Oh, no. Honestly, dude, I didn't even... It sounded familiar, and I was like, yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, I totally forgot. No, that's actually a thing. So that was, 53 years later... He stayed in the hotel itself, and it's just super weird for me. I get all like creeped out by it. I know it's just a show, but the American Horror Story did a very creepy take on the Cecil Hotel.
Oh, they did.
Yeah. So they did.
Wow.
They did, and I remember there was one of the scenes that I'll never forget is, I don't even know if this is the right term, a gimp suit. I'm not even sure what the fuck that is, but it was a dude.
What the fuck is a gimp suit?
Yeah, see, I don't know what that is either. That's just what's coming to mind. But it was a dude, and he's in an all latex from head to toe, full latex. And he was like one of the murderers, if I remember correctly. This is like, I don't know, 5 years ago or so. But people would get trapped in this hotel. So like they would have these crazy, they wouldn't even die, right? So they're in this hotel, but you can't leave the hotel. So to me, it's almost like the people that have died there get trapped. Their souls, their entities get trapped in the hotel forever. And I think once you accumulate multiple, spirits, and they're not there willingly, or maybe they are, there's going to be a lot of fuckery going on there.
A lot of fucking
fuckery. And there was some fucking on the American Horror Story version. I do implore people to check it out, because I actually want to go back and watch it now, knowing a little bit more about the history of the Cecil Hotel.
Interesting.
And I think some things would make a little bit more sense. And who knows, maybe there's some correlations between maybe Richard Ramirez or Elisa Lam or some of the other people that that lost their lives there.
All right.
Ooh. All right.
Is this really her? Is this her?
No. But she does look similar. She does. Yeah, she does look similar. I would have to say, and no disrespect to her or her family, they are probably going to be like, that looks nothing like her. But based on anyhow, it's close. It's close. I did my best.
For those who don't know what she looks like, we'll just share it in this. We'll just share it real quick.
Yeah, let's probably do that. That's probably a good idea.
This is Elisa Lam.
Okay, maybe not.
Yeah, not close at all. But I mean, hey, it's like in Rush Hour. Oh, yeah, look alike. But yeah, no disrespect, but
I'll take an E for effort, man.
This is more of a cinematic version of Elisa Lam. Let's put it that way. I don't know if they ever made a movie, which I don't know why they would, but yeah, this is her. So yes, here's your. This is your slide for surveillance footage on Elisa Lam's bizarre behavior. So what you wrote up here, it says, in the days leading up to her disappearance, Elisa Lam's strange behavior was captured on the Cecil Hotel surveillance cameras, and it was playing all over the news channels, remember? And it was kind of creepy because she was like teetering back and forth, looking outside the elevator, like as if, and if it was your first time watching, you were expecting like someone to come, her murderer, at least you would think that would pop up in there. But the one weird thing, and that people were talking about this video, is that the video, the timestamp was moving in such a weird way, like it was sped up, as if like the media apparently was trying to make it look more dramatic than it was. And some people were saying, no, that's supernatural shit going on there. So there's a lot of things going on behind that footage that people were trying to uncover. But yeah, man, this is your research too. What do you have on this?
So when you said that I didn't even think about that, but like, what if like the media did play with the timestamp on the videos?
Wouldn't be surprising, right?
And why would they do that? Right. So you would think, right. So, okay. So my take on this, after we did the Zodiac killer, right? Like it seemed like there were some genuine people that were trying to catch this killer. They were trying to catch him. So if there was footage of the killer, the murderer, you'd think that they would want to show that so that they can put the public at ease. Because every time, I mean, again, going back to the Zodiac killer, like everyone's freaking the fuck out, as they should. It's like when a kid goes missing in a neighborhood or in an area or a street next to you, like parents they're going to keep a little bit more of a watchful eye. And parents are going to freak out. What do the parents do? The parents are going to be looking to law enforcement. Like, what are y'all doing? What are y'all doing? Are you guys, they want updates. So like, what if though, that there was some supernatural shit that was on those tapes and they fast forwarded or they played with the timestamp on that so that it didn't freak people out? Because if there was a human there that they could identify and be like, this is John Doe, he's the reason, they're going to obviously put it on him. But if it was something they can't explain, that's going to do the opposite to the public. That's going to freak them the fuck out. Like if they seen some like skinwalker, or like some fucking army of fairies, that came and like whisper away. Like
they don't want mass hysteria over a video, right? They don't want people like, oh no, this is gonna.
Exactly. That was a solid. Yeah, I actually didn't know that. I didn't know that they. I remember seeing the footage, but I don't remember paying attention to the timestamps. So that's solid. I mean, that definitely raises some questions in my brain.
Right. And so the next part of this, it says the footage showed Lam acting erratically. Hold on, let's go back to that. Let me finish that for you. The footage showed Lam acting erratically, like we were saying, like she was kind of like looking in and out of the elevator, pressing multiple floor buttons. Like she was like looking at, and then she like went up and down and just started pressing all of them, and peering out of the elevator as if hiding from an unseen presence. Her movements were highly unusual, sparking widespread speculation about her mental state and the potential dangers she may have faced. The disturbing elevator footage only heightened the mystery surrounding Lam's disappearance, leaving many to wonder what had transpired in the moments before the cameras captured her final haunting actions. The bizarre and unsettling nature of the video further fueled the public's fascination with the case and eerie history of the Cecil Hotel. Now, before we move on to the next slide, Elisa Lam did kind of like they said, fueled the public's fascination with the Cecil Hotel. People before all this, only people who were into like really dark shit really knew about Cecil Hotel, and then her death kind of made it more, let's call it mainstream, right? And people kind of started digging in. It's like, wow, what the fuck is going on at the Cecil Hotel? So yeah, she kind of brought it to more national attention, maybe even worldwide, because I know there was a whole thing about people like there's a documentary of people, remember, I don't know, I saw it on Netflix, and it was just like a team of people like all over the world trying to piece this together. So
yeah, I mean, it's one of those really weird things where I'm not saying that how do I say this being respectful? Not that I'm trying not to be respectful, but like respectfully saying, like, sometimes it takes one tragedy to open up the eyes of the public, right? And
right.
to then cause further investigations into things. Because as you said, like, there's been multiple things that have happened at the Cecil Hotel. However, maybe it's the day and age that it happened, and we have technology, and now we have, you know, video camera footage. It actually sparked an interest to people to like dig in and look into it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So you last spoke on her acting very weird in the elevator.
Yeah.
So here's another.
And that's the only footage that they have, really. That's all they have.
That literally, that's all. The only thing I've seen is just her in that, and acting weird, hitting buttons and what have you. So what could she have been doing? So let me
maybe not taking her medicine, but you know, we'll save the speculation for later. I know you got more slides, so let's go ahead and bring on your next slide, because I know you're about to get into it right now.
So before, let me just double check here. Yeah. So before we get, actually, no, we'll do the next slide. Then we'll go into something else here that I have.
Okay.
So we got a couple theories, right? Regarding how she died, right? They said that she was bipolar, she was acting erratically. Okay, maybe she was off her rocker and somehow possibly climbed to the top of the hotel. We saw a photo of her just moments ago. She's a skinny little thing, dude. Like maybe 100 pounds soaking wet. Maybe I'm exaggerating. I don't know. Just my perspective. And maybe she was able to lift the door to get into the water tank. Now, one of the things that I do remember that I'm going to shout out to Trebles from Paranoid Radio. He had brought to my attention was that when they found her up in the water tank, her clothes were all taken off and neatly folded outside of the water tank. So her shirt was off. I don't know about her underwear. Doesn't really fucking matter. But her pants, everything was off, and it was folded. To my knowledge, folded outside of this water tank. Now, again, going back to what I think I mentioned earlier, is that the water tank doors, they're meant to be heavy, man. They're meant to be heavy. They're meant to where if a child climbs up to the top somehow, some way, they're not going to be able to lift that door. Like, not possible. They're fucking heavy.
Right. Unless you
and so, unless, and you know, hey, I mean, technically, that's not out of the option, right? Because like I've seen videos of people on PCP and they got superhuman strength, right? I've seen people put their heads on video through 2x4s, which is not typically, you don't normally see that unless you're under some sort of substance. So we have foul play. So foul play could totally be an option, a possibility, right? So we have something criminal, a dangerous individual, or possibly, someone like Richard Ramirez or the Zodiac Killer could have, someone like them could have had some ties into this.
Right, someone like them, because someone's going to be watching like, well, that's not possible. They're out, no, people like of that mindset, I guess, could be in there who's been, you never know, because people could be living in that hotel, right? And just kind of stalking on people who stay at the hotel. You never know. But like you said, so yeah, foul play is obviously one of the more logical things that people want to go with, but mental health factors, like you said, given Elisa's known struggles with depression and bipolar disorder, some believe her erratic behavior and ultimate demise may have been linked to a mental health crisis or episode that spiraled out of control. And this isn't too far off because, well, there's been evidence and in documentaries that I've watched at least, and some stuff I've read where, like we said earlier, she was off her medication. She stopped taking it, and she was already suffering with depression. And who knows, maybe in her head, she was really, unfortunately just down bad. And in her mind, she's like, I'm gonna unfortunately just kill myself, commit suicide. And that's just something I think is more likely. But then again, you look at the video and you can't help but think it's creepy how these circumstances unfolded. And mental health seems the most likely out of these three, but I'll let you go ahead and explain paranormal explanations. But for me, if the audience wants to ask me, I think it was a mental health episode. But yeah, but it's still fun to speculate.
It is. And that's one of the, I don't want to say beautiful things about this, but for true crime lovers, that's what got me into podcasts, literally, was true crime. I am a crime junkie. Just going to say it. I'm a crime junkie. I love this shit. I love looking into it.
He's a crime junkie, not meaning he likes to commit crimes.
Yeah, no. Yeah. So if you've ever heard the show, it's called Crime Junkie Podcast, and those are listening are crime junkies. That's what got me into podcasts. I always thought podcasts were so lame. Like, you're just going to listen to it. Like it's like AM radio on crack. That sounds retarded. Lo and behold, put me back 15 years and I live for this shit now. But, so anyhow, speculating, right, when it comes to this stuff, that's what it's all about. And I think, a lot of crimes that have been committed have been solved due to speculation. Right? You think about, you have a couple detectives sitting inside.
I mean, that's how they all go. I mean, you got to speculate.
Yeah, you got to speculate to figure it out. You can't just fucking, throw shit on the wall and see what sticks. I mean, maybe that works sometimes.
Shit will stick on the wall for sure.
Yeah, and if you're an Italian,
unless it's runny.
Yeah, unless it's runny. Exactly.
All right, look at the paranormal explanations because we're talking about shit on the wall now.
So we got the paranormal, right? We kind of already a little bit dabbled into this. But one of the things I wanted to get into a little bit more as far as the paranormal goes, right, is there is a Korean ritual called the elevator games. Ooh, and I'm going to give you a
crazy
little brief rundown.
Let's pay attention because this is Kyle was kind of talking to me about this before we hopped on, and I was like, I've never heard of this. It's pretty creepy. So if this is your first time hearing about elevator games, you're going to want to listen to this. So go ahead, Kyle.
It's fucking blowing my mind still right now. This is all fresh and new to me. So Korean ritual elevator games are a unique cultural phenomenon that have captivated audiences around the world. These games, rooted in traditional folklore and superstitions, involve players engaging in mysterious elevator-based rituals, often with the goal of summoning supernatural entities or unlocking hidden powers. Intriguing and unsettling, these games offer a glimpse into Korea's rich and mystical heritage. So a little bit of just going to touch on this just a little bit, right? So some of the origins, where did this start? So the Korean ritual elevator games have had their roots deeply embedded in the country's rich cultural heritage and folklore traditions. These These mystical practices are believed to have emerged centuries ago, passed down through generations as a means of connecting with the spiritual realm. So you might look at this as something maybe like a Ouija board, maybe like dabbling in tarot cards, things of sorts. Okay. Rooted in shamanism, the games often incorporate elements of traditional Korean mythology, incorporating deity spirits and supernatural forces into the gameplay. Over time, the rituals have evolved, taking on new forms and adaptations, though the core essence of summoning and communing with otherworldly entities has remained a central theme. Historically, these games were often associated with specific sacred spaces, such as ancient temples or shrines, where the boundaries between physical and spiritual realms it starts to get a little thin there, right? When we're talking spiritual and we're talking the physical realm,
Right.
There's a fine balance there, right? So the use of elevators as a primary medium of these rituals is thought to symbolize the transition between realms, with vertical movement mirroring the ascent or descent of players' consciousness. So it kind of makes sense to me. We talked about there's different dimensions, right? There's different dimensions. We live in all different dimensions, different realms. So to me, that would make sense, right? When you think, I'm going to be quick and brief here, but those who believe that you're going to go to heaven, like most people think of heaven, they think of up. They think you're going up. Most people that believe and think that there's a possibility of going to hell, where do you think? Most people that I know think down. So we have that ascending, descending effect. So I think that's kind of what they're mirroring using the elevator. Real quick, dude. The gameplay mechanics and objectives. So number 1 is ritual initiation. Players select an elevator and perform specific incantations or gestures to commerce the game, to get the game started. Number 2 is the threshold crossing. As the elevator ascends or descends, players must maintain focus and complete additional rituals. And number 3, supernatural summoning. The goal is to invoke the presence of spirits, deities, or other unworldly or worldly forces through a series of carefully orchestrated actions. To me, that's creepy as shit. Really creepy. And again, that does tie into, there are theories that Elisa Lam was playing this game. And no offense, but
She could have been, man. And I'm reading stuff right now about this, and the rules follow the orders of floors precisely. If you falter, it will not work. Do not speak to, look at, or acknowledge a strange woman should she enter the elevator. Like, what the fuck? There's a strange woman who's going to enter the elevator? What the fuck is this?
That's creepy, right?
Yeah, dude.
And unless you are and no offense to all my ghost hunter out there, my paranormal people out there that like to go out there and hunt and do that stuff. Before we were talking, me and Proper were speaking on behalf of like the things we don't fuck with. And due to the things that we both have experienced, we again choose not to fuck with. Hence, if you do fuck with it, fuck around and find out. Being that she had some mental issues would be the only way that, like, unless I had like some serious mental issues, you're not catching me playing this game. It's just not happening. Because I do believe that there are entities that you are able to invoke fucking around with shit like that. And I choose not to. And I think we both found that common ground. We choose not to, but that is a possibility, as you said. So,
man. It's just, so the what I'm sharing here, kind of just touching on what you were saying about the elevator games. The belief is that successful completion of this game will transport you to an alternate universe, but many things can go very wrong and leave you haunted for the rest of your life. Do you want to summon a creepy lady? Nope. And go to an alternate universe via an elevator? What the fuck? Imagine. And here's everything broken down, and the gameplay, it tells you upon arrival at the 4th floor, do not exit the elevator, then press it. What? It's creepy. Oh, there's a creepy old lady, but she's got, I wouldn't expect a creepy old lady to be wearing that. I'd be like, oh, hey, lady.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Can I buy you a drink?
This is where I found the instructions here on this website. Just shout out to them. This is nightscrawlers.ca. So if you're looking to play this game and you think you're brave enough, nightscrawlers.ca has the rules, I guess. But it's creepy, man.
I'm so thankful that I myself am discovering this elevator game right now at the ripe age of 33. I am so thankful, because had you caught me like 17 years ago, your boy might not be here right now. There's a good possibility your boy would be. Who
I would have
knows?
definitely fucked around with that as a kid, because we did Bloody Mary and all that shit.
Yep, done, dude.
Work. Tell you right now, kids, doesn't work.
Yeah, and and I'm thankful that
Biggie Smalls actually worked. So if you've ever seen South Park, Biggie Smalls.
Real quick, go check out the newest episode of South Park, Ozempic. Just saying, Lizzo. It came out 2 days ago. Yeah. Oh God, such a great show. Such a great show. I'm gonna go back and rewatch that. But so now we're gonna get into the water tank discovery. And we kind of briefly touched on this, but I want to make sure we're not missing something here. So she was found over 2 weeks. Okay, so I guess I guess there.
She was marinating in that water.
Yeah, a week or two over since her death or her disappearance. They ended up finding her. A hotel maintenance worker made the gruesome discovery. Lam's body was found floating in the water in one of the water tanks on the roof of the Cecil Hotel. The shocking revelation sent shockwaves, shockingly, through the community and sparked a flurry of media attention. And we will get into the media attention, and we're going to get into too.
Hold on. Can you see what Jerezy just said? Can you summon a spirit or head?
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, okay. I thought you said head is gay. Okay.
What is that?
Summoned.
Succubuses are a thing.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, we don't. Again, one of those things I don't fuck with. But fair enough. Fair enough. But we're going to get into the aftermath a little bit more later. Like, as far as like what did that have to do with the patrons that, I don't know, came to LA and wanted to visit? Were they visiting the hotel? Were they not? Stay tuned. So as police were investigating the scene, them along with the forensic teams, they were searching for clues about how Lam, even ended up there, and the inaccessibility of the tanks, the bizarre nature of the scene only added to the mystery. Again, how did she get to the top without being noticed? Once she was at the top, how the fuck did she open up the tank, the roof of the tank? There are tons of pictures online, so you can look. They're big fucking tanks. Yeah, I don't see that happening. Also, we got some unanswered questions. So the autopsy results were inconclusive, leaving many unanswered questions about the cause and manner of Lam's death. With no signs of foul play or clear explanation, the case remained a baffling enigma, fueling wild speculation and conspiracy theories among the public. Here we are. We're questioning it, you best believe. So we got unanswered questions and we got inconsistencies here. So let's get into one of the lingering mysteries. Despite the extensive investigation and media attention, many crucial details surrounding Elisa's death remain shrouded in mystery. As we know, the lack of clear evidence and conflicting reports have fueled the plethora of unanswered questions, leaving the public to speculate. So real quick, touching on that, there's an article that says that she was found a week later. Then we also have an article saying that she was found 2 weeks later. This all boils down to speculation, right? Which one is the fact? Then we have inconsistent findings. So along with the autopsy results being found inconclusive, there was no exact cause or manner of death for Elisa. Okay. we also, again, I mean, it all kind of ties in, right? It's all, we got the water tank, we got the possible supernatural aspect of things. And I think that's where it all boils down, because you can have two people. You can have two people. You can have the side that people are saying this has got to be supernatural. Then you have the side that says it's not supernatural. So all of that is going to lead to a bunch of inconsistencies. But bottom line, it's fucking weird. Just the whole thing is bizarre from top to bottom. No puns.
Yeah. Oh, I believe it. It's hard not to pick at the spiritual idea, right?
Yeah, I mean, and then again, touching back on the elevator games and like touching on different realms, and as the elevator ascends and descends, and this is not something that some like kids randomly just came up with. I mean, this has been going on in Korean culture for a long time. Again, not super prevalent to my knowledge because I've never really looked into it, but yeah, it's a thing. There's been multiple movies, documentaries also have been made on the elevator games alone. So when you combine the Cecil Hotel, all the fuckery afoot there, and then you combine the elevator games, yeah, it's going to be shrouded in mystery.
Yeah. So in this slide, obviously, now we're kind of touching more on the paranormal explanations and the Cecil Hotel's reputation. So the unsettling history and reports of paranormal activity within the Cecil Hotel have fueled theories that Elisa Lam's untimely demise may have been the result of a supernatural force beyond the realm of human understanding. The creepy old lady, right? The hotel's dark, foreboding atmosphere and rumors of ghostly sightings have long captivated the public's imagination, with many believing that the Cecil's haunted reputation played a role in Lam's mysterious disappearance and death. Now, first bullet point, sightings of apparitions and unexplained phenomena have been reported by guests and staff, adding to the hotel's eerie, otherworldly reputation. And I have some things that we could talk about towards the end of the show. Some believe that Lam may have encountered a malevolent spirit or entity that within the hotel, which could have led to her erratic behavior or an untimely, her tragic end. And ultimately, sorry, I'm fucking reading too fast. The inaccessibility of the rooftop water tanks and the bizarre circumstances surrounding Lam's discovery have led some to speculate that supernatural forces may have been at play beyond the scope of conventional explanation. But it's also one of those things like saying, hey, you know what? She just went crazy, lost it. But people aren't satisfied with that, right? That's the weird part. People are like, no. This hotel's got weird shit going on. But even if there's concrete evidence, she just lost her mental and died and just committed suicide, people aren't happy with that because there's like, hey, no, the Cecil Hotel's got some crazy shit going on. So we're not settling on that idea, right?
I'm not either. Like, fuck that, dude. Like, I think there's something weird going on there.
Oh, Jerizi just said Aleister Crowley and Cecil connection. Maybe that's right up your guys' alley more. I'm not really well versed in Aleister Crowley's life, so I just know he's a weird motherfucker. But
we'll have to dig in. Hey, we'll have to dig into that one because I guarantee you they're probably. Actually, I'm not even going to guarantee you. I'm like 100% sure now that I'm thinking about it. There is a connection to Aleister Crowley, and I'm pretty sure Aleister Crowley actually stayed at the fucking Cecil Hotel, as a matter of fact. I'll fact check that, but I'm like 99% sure. So, dude, if he had went in there and like done some like satanic fucking weird shit and like summoned all these fucking succubuses, dude, like who knows, man? Who knows, dude? Who knows? Did Crowley stay at the Cecil Hotel? I just gotta look it up. I'm like 99% sure he did. And I'm not going to be able to find it right now, so we'll move on. So
he said he's going to send it to us. So if I get the link, I'll post it up. Yeah, but go ahead, go on.
Perfect. I will continue the show. So we were talking about the impact, right, of the show. So after everything had happened with Elisa Lam, which again was one of many of very strange cases that have occurred there. They all kind of compiled up. And let's check out the damage. Well, first of all,
To be honest, it's not the nicest hotel you could stay at. So let's just be honest. It's one. I know they were also housing the homeless during COVID, I think. So it's not the nicest hotel. So.
All right, I'm back. You back? We're back.
Yeah.
Yes. So it wasn't the nicest hotel. Agreed. Hence to why it's no longer a hotel anymore. But first, the losses go out to all the family members of people that have passed away at the hotel. Right? We'll give respect where respect's due, whether it be homicide, suicide, murder, or some supernatural. Shout out to the families that did lose someone they loved and cared about in the hotel. Now let's get to the money. So the Cecil Hotel reportedly lost an estimated $4 million in revenue in the aftermath. That's a lot of, dude. That's a lot of money, man.
$4 million means they were making $4 million at one point. It's like, what the fuck? They were making $4 million at one point. Jesus Christ. Yeah,
and it was just like to me, it looked like a fancy like Motel 8, but just like with like multiple stories.
Yeah,
and yeah, I think that obviously had to do with the fact that people are hearing this. And they've heard about these crazy stuff, and they're like, yeah, like, even if you're not into the supernatural or into that woo-woo shit, that's enough for me to be like, yeah, dude, like, I'm good. I'll get another hotel. I'll spend the extra $5-10, or maybe it's even cheaper to go stay somewhere else. They did notice a 50% occupancy drop since all these things have happened. I guess tied into how unfortunate, but tied to that 50% would look like it says, despite the hotel's struggles, the Elisa Lam case attracted over 1,000 visitors per month to the Cecil, drawn by the desire to experience the hotel's haunting history and the mystery surrounding the young woman's demise, which makes sense. We have people, you look at all these haunted places and people are like, yeah, fuck that. Shout out to the anomaly hunters that went and checked out the McMinman Hotel over there in Oregon, where there's a bunch of crazy, weird, satanic shit going on there. And just saying, dude, they went out there and they found some stuff that I've seen with my own two eyes. So I get where that then would draw in more people to look into that. There's people that don't give a fuck and are not scared of having entities attached to them. Not speaking for myself, that want to go in there, get some footage, and do some more digging. I think that's
you got your.
Yeah, I think we got one more slide here, and this is
go ahead, because I got that link from Jerezy that we're gonna post up for our.
Do you want to do that one first, or do you want me to hit this one? What do you think?
Hit that one, and then that way we can kind of.
All right,
go for it.
Well, we're gonna hit this one. Lessons learned and ongoing investigations. So the mystery. God, no, I'm getting anyhow. I'm not gonna say that. Authorities have vowed to leave no stone unturned in the efforts to uncover the truth behind this captivating and complex case. Multidisciplinary collaborations. In the wake of the Elisa Lam case, law enforcement agencies, mental health professionals, and paranormal experts have sought to work together, combining their expertise to better understand the unique challenges, potential factors at play. This collaborative approach aims to shed new light on the case and prevent similar tragedies from happening in the future. Well, you might want to start with saging the fucking place. Just saying. Ongoing research and analysis. The Elisa Lam case has sparked a renewed interest in the study of unexplained deaths and the psychological issues of individuals struggling with mental health. The potential influence of supernatural phenomenon, researchers and scholars continue to analyze the available evidence, seeking to uncover new sites that could help solve this enduring mystery and provide closure for Lam's loved ones and the broader community. And I am Ron Burgundy, and this is out.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to open that link, and it's not opening up. I don't know why. I think it's like super old, but while it's running, and I'm trying to open it.
Tell Joe Reezy to quit sending fake and gay links.
There.
Much love, brother.
I'm trying to load it. If it doesn't open up, in the meantime, I just want to kind of talk about kind of the history of Cecil Hotel and why people strongly believe it's supernatural, other than, the erratic behavior. But since the 1930s, there was suicides going on at that hotel. I mean, people are going to say, well, it's just suicide. People kill themselves. But it seems to be a favorite place for people to do it. In 1931, W.K. Norton died in his room after ingesting poison. Don't know why. And in 1934, an Army sergeant, Louis D. Borden, slit his throat with a razor. In 1937, Grace E. Magro fell from a 9th-story window. In 1938, Roy Thompson jumped from his room and was found on the skylight of a neighborhood building. That's crazy. And in 1939, Navy officer Irwin C. Neblett ingested poison. There you go. Like in 1931, you had W.K. Norton ingesting poison, and in 1939, you have this Navy officer doing the same thing. And so that's kind of where all these weird things started. But I guess in those times, people just killing themselves, right? Well, in 1964, there was a murder of Pigeon Goldie Osgood, and he was a retired telephone operator, was found raped, stabbed, and strangled in her room. And, so there's just, and then there's serial killer stays, like Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker. And those of you who don't know Night Stalker, he was kind of haunting LA, like women just seemed like random events, and he repeatedly stayed on the top floor of the hotel during his killing spree. Repeatedly? Really? He stayed? Oh, no, okay. He lived on the top floor, it says here.
That's what you were saying earlier, too. You're like, it could be someone that was living in the hotel. People do that. They live there. It might be cheaper than rent. Yeah,
and Jack Unterweger, I don't know, maybe I'm saying his name wrong. He was an Australian serial killer, stayed at the hotel, and continued his crimes while in Los Angeles. Yeah. And other suicides and deaths, 1962, Pauline Otten jumped from the 9th floor window, killing herself and a pedestrian, which is crazy because in 1937, you had Grace Magro from the 9th story as well. Window, jumping out. 1988, now this is kind of like Elisa Lam. 1988, a body of an unidentified woman was found in a hotel water tank.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
That opens up a whole nother thing, dude, because
that kind of creeped me out now just reading that.
Yeah, dude, I did not know that. And I think that why that's weird, because that opens up a whole nother way of looking at things, because you have people that like, oh, I heard someone
unidentified. They don't know who it is till this day, apparently. And in 1992, a man was found dead in the alley behind the hotel, presumed to have fallen or jumped from a window. Seems to be an occurrence of people jumping out the windows. And then ongoing paranormal claims of guests and paranormal enthusiasts report eerie occurrences, including ghost sightings, strange noises, and unexplained phenomena. So funny words, say phenomena.
Phenomena.
Phenomena. But yeah, so other than that, and if we want to get into the spiritual side of, let's say, like the dark supernatural of what people find creepy about the Cecil Hotel, a lot of them, obviously, like we stated before, is haunted by ghosts. And there's been, like you said earlier, you touched base on this earlier, residual hauntings, right? and the hotel is believed to be haunted by the spirits of those who died there, such as victims of suicides and murders. The idea is that intense emotions at the time of death left an imprint, leading to ghostly apparitions and strange occurrences because of their energy. It's staying behind. And intelligent hauntings. Okay. Some believe that the spirits of the Cecil Hotel are conscious entities that interact with the living. Creepy. Guests and paranormal investigators report seeing apparitions, hearing disembodied voices, and feeling sudden drops in temperature. Huh. And there's people believe there's demonic influences like negative energy accumulation. And that theory posits that accumulation of negative energy from decades of violence and tragedy has attracted malevolent spirits or demons. This dark energy is said to influence or even possess individuals, leading to further tragedies. Like people said, they believe that Elisa Lam was possessed. Could it be that, the demonic influence? And that there's a portal to hell. Some extreme theories suggest that the hotel is a portal to hell or a site of significant spiritual turmoil, making it a hotspot for demonic activity. Now, if that's the case, and people are playing elevator games at the Cecil Hotel, do you think the elevator game is leading you to the portal of hell? Fuck. That's another way to look at it now, right? Curses, man, that's more of like, cursed land. Another theory is that the land on which the Cecil Hotel is built is cursed. Ancient burial grounds. Yeah, okay. Object attachments, items within the hotel, such as furniture or artifacts, might carry curses or attachments that bring misfortune, paranormal activity. And then psychic echoes. Oh, time slips. Okay, this is interesting. So there's a theory that certain places, particularly those with a history of trauma, can experience time slips where past events replay themselves. Wow. Visitors might witness these echoes, leading to ghost sightings and strange occurrences. Imagine that, having time slips and just fucking sitting there. It's like, I just saw what happened in the 30s in here. Psychic imprints. Strong emotional or traumatic events are thought to leave psychic imprints on the environment. Sensitive individuals might pick up on these imprints, experiencing visions or feelings associated with past events. And like what our very own cave member, founder, Jarizi said, it sounds like ley lines. Well, yeah. So a theory is ley lines, energy vortex. Some theorists believe that the hotel is situated on ley lines, which are said to be geographical alignments of powerful natural energy. The convergence of these lines might create an energy vortex that enhances paranormal activity and attracts spirits.
Bro.
I like how we were able to turn things around, huh? Yeah, we
Bro. Hey, that was weird, man. I'm not gonna lie. I have some, and that's why I love doing this, man. I really do love doing this because now I have like, we kind of went into this, right, trying to find some answers, maybe some guidance as to why or what happened. And I don't know about you, but I'm left with more answers than I had an hour ago.
Me too. But now I also have more questions for those answers, because it's just, it's just thing. You speculate, you get an answer, and then you're like, wait, okay, so you try to tie it back onto something else, and that's the fun part of this, and the mystery keeps on going.
Let's go. Oh yeah, I'm blown away, man. This was a blast, and I learned a lot. I learned a lot as we do. So I'm hoping that the cave people listening and watching also learn something. And yeah, man, the questions are a beautiful thing to have after this, because you never know, man. You never know. Yeah. None of us have it figured out, but we're one step at a time. I'm kind of leaving
this episode a little creeped out, not gonna lie. So I'm gonna try and watch a comedy movie. Maybe watch a Adam Sandler flick real quick. Creeped out a little bit, but I actually do want to read up on this elevator games. It's a very, and then if for anyone who was watching, I did post up, there was a movie called Elevator Games. I think it was called Elevator Games, but yeah, so if you're interested in learning more, called Elevator Game, based on actual events. Oh, okay.
It's creepy, bro. That. Yeah, it was a little weird, dude. I may or may not have started doom scrolling on my phone while that was going on because it was just weird. It's creepy. I was in the middle of like looking into this, and then we put it on to get a little bit better insight.
Of course,
but fucking creepy, man. Fucking creepy.
It is. But yeah, guys. So we're gonna wrap it up. This is our, we've gone an hour. Like we said, we're gonna run this show. That's typically how we run our murder mysteries, just to keep it short to the point. Now we're gonna work on our next episode. The Cecil Hotel was a very good one that Kyle. This was his idea. We were we were actually thinking about extending on the Zodiac Killer again, but we believe that a lot of time has passed since then. Let's just move on to a next one. And Cecil Hotel was actually a really fun one to cover because while we did, Kyle and I, we had a very good idea of what this place was, but upon doing more research and being prepared for the show, we thought we learned more, and that was exciting. I mean, hope you guys enjoyed the show. But before we wrap it up, I just want to go ahead and plug in our member Chef. He also has his own podcast on Sunday Night Secret Society Pod. Right there, you can follow him on Instagram. So if you want to follow us, you can also follow me on K4V3.com. You can interact with us there. And like I said, please consider joining our Patreon. You can find a link on K4V3.com or patreon.com/K4V3. Also, please consider visiting our sponsor, SafeLightCandle.com, for all your LED lighting needs at affordable prices. Very affordable. Trust me, you're going to go on there, you're going to be like, wow, they weren't lying. And if you guys would like to please consider supporting my company, you can see Chef is wearing a hat right there. Proper Golf Co. We are at www.propergolfco.com. We are in collaboration with K4V3. This is something that we're all working on. So got some goodies for K4V3 members. So if you join our Patreon, you get some Proper Golf exclusives only made for the Patreon that we have planned up for you guys. But yeah, and I'm going to throw up the Patreon link right here.
Let's go.
I'm learning the banners here. Here they are. Patreon.com/K4V3. Yes, it is.
Much. Thank you guys.
Thank you guys for tuning in. We're going to tune out of this. Catch you guys later. Oh, where is it? Oh, there it is. Peace out. I'm going to go try the elevator game.
No, don't. If Proper disappears, we know what happened.